Hey, Steve Zook here. Welcome back to Poke Suit Channel. Hey, it's real hot today, so I'm not using lights today. So if it's not bright enough for you, guess you have to live with it. But anyway, this is a brand new LH350 that recently came in. These list for about $1,000. I sell them for $749, which is MAP, 25% off. That comes with a lifetime warranty. This is one of the few guitars that's really worth buying new. In fact, the subject of today's video is where is the great value in buying a guitar? You know, once in a while I get bored and I'll go to a music store, a big one, and I did that today. Today I went to a large music store, a big chain. I won't mention the name, but just to check out what they have and see if there's anything kind of interesting going on, any good values or whatever. You know what? Every time I go, I'm more and more disappointed. And I just keep thinking, man, this is a rip. You know, somebody's spending all this extra money to get a new guitar, and it's just not good value. But I mean, if you think about it, a big music store has a lot of overhead. You know, they have, 40, 50 grand a month just in overhead. And, let's start by where the great value is not, folks, okay? The great value is not in buying a new guitar from a music store or an online catalog or anywhere that's new. It's like buying a new car. You buy a car worth 30 grand, you drive it off the lot, it's worth 15, 20 grand. You know, it's not a great value. If you're gonna, first thing you need to learn about buying a guitar is don't buy new, buy used, okay? Unless it's a brand like the Lore or the Recording King. And this is not just some cute little, thing I'm saying here. It's really true. Like if this same guitar were made by one of the huge companies like Gibson, it'd be like, 5 grand. This is real value, even buying new, because the company made the effort and the R&D and the priority to make it a win-win-win. So when it comes to the Music Link is really the only company that I represent that I sell new, because the value is big, and my business has grown over the years. It's become cumulative because I offer great value. Most of the big guitar companies, you're paying a lot of extra money for the name. It's just not good value. With the Lore Archtop, it's like their branding statement is something like old world value at a working man's price. With this guitar, you actually get a solid carved top, violin voiced archtop with a floating pickup for $749. Seriously, if this guitar were made by one of the big boys, it would be thousands. So, that the exact price is hard to say. But if this was made by Gibson, it'd probably be $4,500 at least. So I just want to make that point. The best guitar values are not in the big name brands, unless you go with a brand that's a little bit smaller, which is very well known but still an emerging brand. But yet you got to look at the company philosophy. The Music Link is small enough to make it a win-win-win all the way across the board. And I've been with the Music Link longer than anybody. I know I'm tuning a little low. I think it sounds cool though. So like in terms of this, seriously, the Music Link is the only company I know of where you can buy a new guitar and still get a huge value, and you're not taking a bath on it the minute you walk out. That's why I have a lot of repeat customers. A lot of people have bought in 350s from me. They tell their friend buys a 350 or an LH300 or an LH700 or a Recording King flat top or a Torified top or an all solid RD10 Recording King, because the value is huge. And it's the one place where it's really nice to get the lifetime warranty too. So in terms of value, again, talking about what not to do, don't buy a new guitar unless it's through a really trustworthy dealer that deals like in products from the Music Link. And the Music Link is who I've been with for over 10 years. I buy my guitars directly from the company. I even do one better. I buy directly from Brian Jones, who's the national sales manager, and he's a friend of mine. But I don't know of any other company that offers that much value. All the other companies out there, whether, I don't want to single anybody out, but it's just you got to understand that you're paying a lot of extra money for the name. So the other place of good value is when you can pick up stuff used. Maybe you can find something, on Craigslist or at a garage sale or from a friend or whatever. But you got to know how to buy a used guitar, and you got to check for a lot of important, features and components. But like I recently picked up a Epiphone Sheraton Blonde that's just beautiful, and it's one of the ones that has a little bit bigger neck, and it doesn't sound anything like any Epiphone. That's not a Sheraton; it's the Epiphone 335, but it doesn't sound like any Epiphone 335 I've ever had. It's a rare period for 2 or 3 years where the necks were a little bit bigger, and so it really has a sound, and the pickups even sound like maybe they have little aged magnets in them, and the binding's more aged. It's an unbelievable guitar. And then you got to understand that sometimes they'll use a solid piece of mahogany down the middle of a 335 type guitar, which makes them sound much better. Maybe sometimes they use a different kind of wood. So there's a lot of variables involved. I can't explain all this in one video. But seriously, you can buy this exact 350. It sounds. It's got a high-end sound, maybe like a Gibson Johnny Smith or something. The plastic is still in the pickup here, so it'll even sound better when you get that. But like the LH 700 is a tremendous value. All this stuff, and I wouldn't say this if it wasn't true. I've always had to believe in what I sell, and if I don't believe in something, I don't sell it, and I don't communicate the value. I have to really believe it, and I do believe it because I'm authentic within myself. Music and guitars are my passion in life, so that's why people call me. People call me from all over the nation to buy the Lohr Archtops or a Recording King because they know that I'm really hooked up with the company I am. They even used a couple of my videos for over 2 years on thelohr.com for this guitar, for the LH350, because the owner likes my playing. He likes the way I explain the value of the product, and it really is true. And I'm an archtop expert. I've been doing archtops for a long time. I almost exclusively dealt in archtops for around 10 years. High end, low end, medium, everything. I really know them, and I love them. I love all kinds of guitars, but I really do love archtops a lot as well as acoustic. In fact, I'm playing an acoustic guitar right now, which is a RD T16 Dreadnought with an Adirondack torrefied top. Sounds unbelievable. It sounds like an old Martin, from like maybe 50s D18. It really, I can't put it down. I may just have to keep that. I don't really keep much, but anyway. So I'm going to do several videos on this subject. Where is great value in a guitar? So first thing is don't buy new. Do not buy a new guitar. Buy used. And there's a lot of other components involved too, but that's why I'm going to keep this video a little bit on the short side. But this exact 350 is available. I know I have I had the volume down a little bit. Let me. Oh yeah, now it sounds better. I had the volume down a little bit. I didn't realize. This exact one is available, but yeah, to get an arch top with a solid carved top, violin voiced for $749 is really a huge value. So this exact one is available, and if you're interested, call me 714-548-0385 or email me pokezu@gmail.com or Steve Zook, the number 7, not 7 spelled out, just STEVEZOOK, all lowercase, all together. Steve Zook 7 at yahoo.com. But yeah, it's a really nice sounding guitar. I like to put acoustic strings on these because they come with half and halves, but if you put acoustic strings on this guitar, it sounds amazing. It just absolutely transforms it, because it really basically is an acoustic guitar with a floating pickup. So In fact, when I sold one to a customer a while back, and he said he put on like the acoustic strings, it was like night and day. And I said, well, you should learn to play night and day on it, you know. So anyway, today's video, where are the great guitar values? I'm gonna keep this subject going, but for first step, do not buy new, buy used, unless it's one of the guitars like the Lower Archtops or the Recording King, because the company has made the effort to offer that value without you having to worry about paying extra money for the big brand names. You got to understand, folks, these huge brands spend millions and millions and millions of dollars on advertising and positioning, so that money has to come back to them. It's that simple. They spend a ton of money to kind of brainwash people, really, like you have to spend, you know, $4 grand or $8 grand, or, you know, some custom shop 14 grand or 22 grand to get a good guitar. It's just not worth it anymore, folks. All right, if you have any questions, email me, stevezook7@yahoo.com or pokesue@gmail.com. This exact guitar is available, and it's a beauty, man. I know I'm tuned low. I should tune it up a bit. All right, folks, take care. Keep the faith, trust the universe, and stay positive. Ciao.